Hello, Roots to Crown community. It's been a great honor and privilege building this community together, and I'm so happy we've been able to make it this far. I am going to share a few updates on the status of Roots to Crown and address some of the rumors and stuff that's been going on. I know I've already said a couple of times we're probably going to be closing soon, and we might be. So for this video, I'm just going to kind of quickly share where we're at right now and then go into more details on how I feel about everything personally and about my journey. So first off, we could close very soon. As of right now, we are in a pretty critical state with the business. We are not really making enough to make ends meet. I am personally in quite a bit of debt, trying to keep everything going, not able to adequately compensate myself for the amount of effort and time and energy I put into keeping everything going. And right now I'm at a point to where I just can't afford to keep this going by myself. I can't afford rent. I'm like behind on a number of bills. I owe a lot of people money, and yeah, that's the reality of the situation. So I got to a point recently to where I'm just like faced with reality. I'm like, I don't want to let this go. Like, we put in so much effort here. It's such a beautiful community space, and there's so much potential for growth, but I just can't do this alone. And I was really at the points where I was just gonna start. I really just want to like set an end date and start liquidating and just like consolidating and just like stop taking on more debt and getting further and further behind personally. And a couple people did step up. There are like a couple potential investors that I'm talking with, one of which has said that he will do anything he can to make sure that the doors don't close. And so there's a glimmer of hope. There's definitely an opportunity for things to continue and quite possibly flourish and grow to its potential. I've got a lot of great plans and direction that we can go in. I'm working on establishing a 501c3. I've got a really amazing board behind me, people with a lot more experience than me, and yeah, there's a lot of hope for the future, but it's still very uncertain right now. I don't have anything solidified as far as getting more investment. So yeah, that's the short update. I'm just going to go into a little bit more of what can happen to make sure Roots does not close and we're able to continue here. First off, what would be a huge asset and really essential is some level of investment to where we can be caught up on our current expenses and the things that we need to cover immediately, which as of right now is probably close to $5,000. If we could get a higher level of investment, we'll be able to make significant changes with the venue and step towards a greater capacity to serve, and doing it in a the more money we can bring in, the more change we can make quicker, obviously. But yeah, I'm really to the point where I'm just like, I can't keep doing this all myself. We've had a number of people step up and help and volunteer in different ways, but it's not real. It's really hard to build a large community space and venue totally on volunteers, and like with it. Yeah, we really need more help and people that we can pay and hire and get on staff to really make things viable. So yeah, number one is investment. Ideally, someone who could put up 30 to 50K is where I feel like would really make quite a big impact to be able to make a significant difference. Secondly would be a business partner to step up, who would hopefully be able to invest some funds, or at least provide a lot more direction and experience and just help with taking on the workload. Ideally, someone who has either created successful venues in the past or has a lot of experience in managing successful venues. And the last thing would be a number of really powerful community leaders who are well funded, who could step up and help cover the expenses and also take on some of the workload. So some mix of those, either like turning it into like a collective operation to where it's like not all falling on one person, a large amount of investment, or a business partner, or some mix of those things. Or even if there was someone who wanted to come in and buy the business, I'm totally open to that option as well. What right now I feel like is a high likelihood that I don't want to happen is us having to close and just like selling off all of our assets to help cover the debt that I have. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It has been feeling really heavy, like going through all this stuff. But it also feels quite liberating and exciting to me to feel this burden that I've been carrying dissolving and having potential opportunities come up in like different directions I can go. Personally, I really want to start a family, and I want to be like in a situation in which I feel more secure financially, and it's just like hard to have that intention and that desire and not be able to fulfill it here, which I can see those things aligning. I could see me being well supported and feeling secure and be able to start a family while building Roots to Crown. But in order to do it in like a reasonable fashion, again, we need more support immediately, pretty immediately. So yeah, personally, like there's a lot of challenges with being in the spotlight for me and running a community space and having all the judgments and everything from people coming up. And it seems like I was told when I started this out that I was going to have a thick skin and that everyone is going to think that they can do what I'm doing better than me. And there's part of me that like was like, okay, yeah, I believe that, but I also kind of like don't believe that. But it's just like, it's like everyone like holds me to a certain standard, and there's all these levels of like projection and things that come up, and like lots of rumors and all these things, and like it's really heavy to hear, or like being like I feel like I'm like almost always, it's like there's some like different accusation or things, and like people thinking I'm not doing things right, and how I'm like not managing the venue right, and like when I'm just over here like doing the best I can, putting in all this time and energy and effort and money, and not not getting like really much of anything back, and just like struggling to keep all this going, and doing it for the love of community, doing it because community's given me so much. But then to like have like all these accusations and people like saying all these things about me, it really gets heavy. And I don't want that to be like a reason for me to not keep doing this, but it's really something that weighs on me quite a bit. And it like every time I hear something, it's like, why even bother? Like, why do I care and help out in this way and like do this work? And but it's like overall, most people really appreciate what I'm doing, and like most of what I hear face to face is positive and uplifting and encouraging. It's just like all the stuff in the background and the shadows that like I know I just shouldn't let it get to me, but it's just something I wanted to say here, and it's something that I would feel really relieved moving on past, but also like I know it's helping me ultimately, and like as I grow as a person and do more bigger things, then I'm going to be in the spotlight, and people are going to talk, and people are going to judge, and people are going to have their opinions. And I'm trying the best I can to just like ignore the stuff coming from the shadows, and just continue doing the best I can here. But yeah, overall, I'm feeling pretty light and excited for the future. I'm just taking one step at a time, welcoming in support as it comes, and yeah, and then being totally open to the possibilities of the future. There's also a big part of me that would love to leave St. Pete and live in the mountains and travel, or like do other things than to be like solidified, rooted here, and committed to building this community space. But I do feel like really fueled and excited about continuing to build this community space with more support. So that's pretty much my update. I just wanted to share where I'm at personally, how I'm feeling, the status of the business, and just like be more open with potential support that could come in. If you happen to know someone who could potentially invest, or is like really experienced with venues, or if you yourself like want to like help out in some way, reach out soon, because as of right now, I'm $3,000 behind in rent today, or rent for this month, and my property manager is going to be coming for that check tomorrow. And I was really hoping to have some funds secured by then, but I haven't had that yet. And I just now got caught up on paying almost all my facilitators and some like bills I was late on, and I'm hoping my my bank account stays out of zero. I don't even know if I'll have anything to give him tomorrow. That's where we're at. But yeah, I love you all so much, and thank you all so much for the support building this community space and getting this far. Hopefully we're able to continue, and if not, it'll all be good. Energy is never destroyed, it's only transformed, and all the experiences and beautiful connections we've created here are continuing to grow and expand and create other beauty in different places. And there's like so much good that's happening in St. Pete, whether Roots continues or not. I'm happy with how far we've gotten. I'd be happy to continue. I'll be happy if we have to close and do something else. That's the update. Love you all. Have a beautiful day, life,